Hey guys, AP here, and today we are going to be doing a coding challenge. Now, I know it's been a while. It's been about 5 months, 6 months maybe. I think it's been 6 months. And so I'm sorry. I know it's been bad, but I'm sorry. So I'm going to do some coding challenges. As you can see from this HTML file, it's going to be some turtle graphics. And this coding challenge is going to be part of, oops, sorry about that. It's going to be part of a bigger coding challenges to where eventually we'll get to doing something pretty neat. I'm not going to talk about it yet because I'm going to start doing turtle graphics. So yeah, let's start doing it. So I have basically a blank file. Here's our code right here. Just have the console for debugging, all the good things. And so let's begin. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to create a few objects. Obviously, we're going to create a turtle object to do our drawing, but we're also going to create a canvas object. Well, we could make the canvas static. We could just make it like let canvas equal that, but I'm going to make a canvas object. So we're going to create a new file. I'm just going to call this canvas.js, and I'm just going to say all files, and we're going to save that. And so now we can actually create ourselves a canvas class. So class canvas, and I'm going to be using ES6, the classes. I haven't done functions because classes you can do a lot of better things. And so we're going to create a constructor, and it's going to have a width and a height, obviously. So width, height. And so in here, I'm going to create a canvas element, a HTML element. So this dot canvas is equal to document dot create element, not attribute element. All right. So what this does is, and I'm just going to create a canvas element. It creates HTML element. It doesn't add it to the document. It just creates it. And so now we're going to set some attributes for it. So this dot canvas dot width is equal to width from our parameters from our constructor, and same for height. So let me just paste that, and we're also making an ID because there could be other canvases and it could ruin that. So this.canvas.id, and we're just going to say turtle canvas, and then we're going to add it to the document. So document.body, because you can't add things directly to the document, so document.body dot append child, and then obviously we're going to add the canvas. So if this all goes right, we need to actually create our canvas object. So let canvas equal new canvas, and it's just going to be around, let's just say 600, make it a square so we can do stuff with it. So if we go in here and we go to canvas is not defined. Oh yeah, we have to add it to our, okay, so script source canvas.js, and let's run that again. Okay, no errors. So if we go into element, we should see a canvas, and it's highlighted to the left here. Canvas with our width and height and ID turtle canvas. So that's good. So just because I want to see it, I'm going to just say this.canvas.style. Style is equal to a border. We're just going to add a border to it, so it's going to just be a little 1 pixel outline so we can actually see this canvas. So there we go. So with that, we need to set a few variables, because we also want to, since we're drawing stuff, we also want to draw with the canvas. So we want the background color, so I'm just going to say this dot background color. That's just going to be equal to black for right now. So that's all zeros. And we also need our turtles. So without the turtles on the canvas, there's nothing for it to draw to. So this dot turtles, and I'm going to say turtles as an array because we could have multiple turtles drawing at the same time, which I think would be pretty cool. Because I saw a turtle demo where it clicks and then a bunch of turtles start spiraling out from that click, and it makes pretty cool designs. And so yeah, so we need, first of all, a way to change the background. So set background color, and we're just going to say color as a parameter. and this dot background color is equal to color. So basically we can change our background color. We also need a clear to actually clear the background, to clear the canvas, not clear the background. So, oh wait, we forgot the most important part. We need the context. So the context for a canvas element is basically what you're drawing on. So after we create the canvas and add it, we're going to say this dot context, not document, context is equal to this dot canvas dot get context. And there's different ways of doing it. You can do WebGL if you want to do 3D rendering. You can do there's another one. I don't know. I'll put a list off to the side of it and of all of it and a little explanation. And so for right now we're just going to use 2D. Oh wait, here it is. So we have 2D, experimental, WebGL, and WebGL. So that's the only ones. Huh. I thought there was more. Well, it's right there. So future Alex, don't put that list up there. So we're just going to say 2D because we're not doing anything 3D yet. It's a little foreshadowing. So after we get the context, we just want to do this dot context dot fill style, and that's equal to the background color. So this dot background color, and then we want to actually clear the entire canvas. So we're gonna have to say fill rect, which basically colors rectangle from wherever the corner of these, and then the width and height. So it creates a rectangle and fills it with the fill style, which is our background color. So this dot context dot fill rect is at 0, 0. That's where we want it to begin. So it can get the entire canvas, and then we want the width and height to be the canvas width and height. So I'm just going to copy this and just put it there, and then copy that and change that to height. And there we go. So if we do canvas.set background color to, like, let's do red, and then 0, 0, 0, 0, and then we say canvas.clear, we should just have a red background like we do right here. So that means we're going in the right steps. Woohoo! So now that we have the canvas, we also need a way to add turtles. So we need to add turtle, and we need to say the parameter of the turtle, and then just say this dot turtles dot push the turtle into the array. And there we go. So this dot turtles dot push, and it just adds that. So that's it. We also want to later on. We also want to set the turtle's context to the canvas's context but for right now, since we don't have a turtle object, we don't need to do that. And so speaking of turtle objects, let's actually create it. So once again, I'm going to create a new file, save it as turtle.js, go here, all files. And so if we save, we should have turtle.js. Excuse me. So we're going to create a turtle class. Turtle. Oh, that's not what. SVG component transfer function element is not what I want. Hold on. Turtle. Constructor. We don't really need a constructor. Or parameters to the constructor, but we do need a constructor. So the first thing we want to do is we need to create where the turtle is. So we need to have a this dot x, and that's going to be equal to 0 for right now, and this dot y, and that's also going to be equal to 0. We also need a direction or an angle, and so we can just say this dot angle is equal to 0. And we're going to set it to degrees and convert it to radians later on down the line. So the next thing we need is a direction, because we could use the context.translate and rotate functions, and that would make things so much easier. But since we're going to be using these turtle graphics for different things, we need to move to functions and set the position somewhere. And so I'm just going to say this dot x and this dot y. And so now we need a direction which is going to be an array, because it's sort of a vector, but we don't have a vector class in here unless I make one, which I'm not. And so this dot direction is equal to the x element is going to be math.cosine, and then this dot angle, and then we have, of course, have to convert it to radians, so times math.pi divided by 180. And then I'm going to say for the y, we need to be sine, and then I'll explain this after I get the sine in. So math.sine. Okay, so basically, here's how it works. So it takes the angle, and it gets the cosine returns the x element of it, which is between 0 or -1 and 1. And the sine does the same thing, but for the y. And if we draw that, it basically just points to wherever the angle is, which is what we want for the direction. Also, we want it to be between 0 and 1. We want it to be a unit vector, basically. I'll get into vectors later on down the line. I might make like a whole video about that. Make your own vector class and all the maths behind that. But for right now, we're making a turtle class. Okay, so now we need to have a color for it because different turtles might have different colors. So this dot color is equal to let's have white. Alright, so now that we have all this, we also want a context, which is why I was saying before with the canvas, we need the context for the turtle so we can actually draw with the turtle. So this dot context for right now is equal to null. And so now that we have this dot context, we can actually go to the canvas and say this, or turtle dot context is equal to this dot context. So yeah. So with this, we can create ourselves a turtle class. So turtle object. Let turtle equal new turtle. And we can actually say, before that, we can say canvas.add turtle and our turtle that we just created. And if we go in here, oop, there's an error. Turtle's not defined. Why do I keep forgetting to add these things? Script, source, turtle.js. Alright, let's try that again. So if we go into our canvas, which is a global object, and we go to turtles, we should have a turtle object, which we do. So that's good. And if we go into our turtle object, we should have our context be the same as our canvas context, which it is. Good. And then direction is the angle. So that's also working. So everything is going good so far. And now the next thing to do is actually show the turtle on the canvas. And so I'm going to have a Boolean. Thank you, commenters, for teaching me the correct pronunciation. I'll put your comment up because it really helps. So we're going to say this dot show turtles, and that's going to be equal to true by default. And so we can have so we can say show turtles, show turtle, and then we can have Boolean. So we're just going to say bool. Crap. Bool. And we're going to say this dot show turtles equals bool. So now that we have that, we can actually show the turtles if we want to or not. By default, it's going to be, we're going to show the turtles. To actually show the turtles, we need a looping function that constantly renders what we want. So what we can do is we can have loop, because the canvas will loop, and we can do this dot or window dot request animation frame. And if we put this dot loop, it will mess up everything, because if we put this dot loop in window dot request animation frame, it won't know that canvas is the object that this dot is. So this, and then it'll say syntax error, and this, it's not what we want. So after we say this dot loop, we want to bind the object that this dot is. So we're going to say bind, and of course the this dot is this. So now it knows that it's the canvas object that the loop is coming from. So we can actually prove this by saying console.log hide, and from the constructor we're just going to say this dot loop to get the function running. So if we look in the console, we just have a bunch of highs, which is what we want. So the first thing we want to do is we want to see if show turtles is even a thing, if we want to actually show the turtles. So if this dot show turtles, then we want to actually show the turtles. So to draw a turtle, we're just going to draw a circle. So context dot begin path, and then we need to close the path, so close path. And we need to say context dot fill style, because we want to fill it in with the turtle's color, equal to turtle dot color. And we want to say this dot context dot ellipse, and that's going to be the wherever the turtle is, so turtle dot x, turtle dot y, and then the size, let's just make it 10 by 10. So 10 by 10, and rotation, no start angle, and then the end angle, it's going to be 2 pi, which is just math.pi times 2. And then we don't need the optional function. And then after that, we need to fill it in. So if we run this, we should have a little error. This dot, we have to have this dot, that's why. So let's add all these this dots, and if it all goes right, which it isn't, we have to loop through the turtle. Oh, we have to loop through the turtle array. Okay. For let turtle of this dot turtles, and run this drawing code. So if this all goes right, we should have a little circle up in the corner, which we do. Kind of looks more like an octagon, but whatever. We might need to make that a little bit bigger, so maybe 15. It's a bit small. And if we see that now, yeah, it looks more like a circle. So that's basically it for the canvas class. We don't really need anything else for here. So the next thing we want to do is we want to run the turtle. So the first thing we need is we need to have a way to set the position of it. So I'd say set position. It's going to have an x and a y. So x, y. Let's say this dot x equals x, and same for this dot y. So there we go. And well, we can actually see the turtle in its entirety if we say, after we add it to the thing, turtle dot set position to the center, which is 300. So now it should just be in the center, which it is, which is good. So next thing we want to do is we want to have a way to set the angle. So we need a rotate function. So rotate, and then by angle, and so we're going to say this dot angle plus equals, we need to rotate by an angle, and by the angle. So we can rotate left or by having a negative angle, rotate right by having a positive angle. And we need to reset the direction because the direction is based off this angle. So just copy that line again. And now that we have that, we need the move function, which is how we're going to move forwards or backwards. So, and then we need a distance. So now this is one of the more complicated functions, because not only do we need to draw a line if where it moves to, but we also need to calculate where it moves to and then set the new position. So how to do that? Well, we need a bit of math. So first thing we want to do is we need to have so this dot x is equal, or let new x, let new x equal this. And so we need to know where the new x is. We can tell that by multiplying the direction by whatever the distance is. So, or whatever component of the direction. So we need to do this dot direction of 0 multiplied by distance. So this will give us, or offset x, I should say offset x. Offset x. And we need to do the same for y. So offset y is equal to the direction 1 times distance. And we need to draw the line between where it is now and where it would be, and then set the new position. So now that we have a context, this dot context dot set, or stroke style, because it has a color, is equal to this dot color. Oh, we don't have this. We have to have a set color. So set color, and then this dot color is equal to color. There we go. Just a little small function to set the color. And so now that we have that, we also need a line width. I forgot about that. Width equals 1 by default, and then set width. There's so many things you can do with a turtle, because that's how basically I learned how to code, is with the scratch turtles, or they're not really called turtles, it's just a scratched line drawing. But that's basically where I learned how to make everything I know how to do. So I'm making a custom version of that in JavaScript. Isn't that pretty neat? Just a little trivia fact for you. So this dot width is equal to width, and now we can say this dot context dot line width is equal to width, or this dot width. Oh, there's a 0 that's not supposed to be there. And so now that we have the settings set, we need to begin our path to draw a line. So this dot context dot begin path, and then we need to close it. That context dot close path. So now put close. There we go. And now we need to move to our current x and y. So this dot context dot move to our current x and y. So this dot x, this dot y. So we need to move to it because that's where our beginning of the line is. And then we need to have a line to function. So this dot context dot line to, and then where the new x would be, which is going to be this dot x plus offset x, and then same for y, this dot x plus offset y. And now after we draw the line, we need to set the x to the new x. So this dot x plus equals offset x, and then this dot y is plus equals offset y. And there we go. That is our move function, all complete. So the thing we need to do now is we need to actually draw the code. So after we set the background and clear it, we need to say turtle dot move. Let's just say 100. Okay, let's try that. Oh, well, it moved. It moved. It didn't draw a line, which I think I am suspicious about because we're looping, and basically, hold on. No, this loop doesn't. This loop doesn't do that. Okay. So, okay. Well, shoot, something wrong with this. Oh, I forgot to call this the stroke. This dot context dot stroke. So yeah, every time you draw a line, you have to say stroke to actually make these things happen. And we might, yeah, it's fine. So there we go. It's a little line right there, as you can see. And so if we have a couple. Now that we have the rotate, we could say turtle dot rotate 90 degrees. That is, we can call that 4 times, and that should make a little square, which it does. So there we go. And thank you for Scratch for teaching me this. So if we say let I equals 0, I is less than 360, I plus plus, we could say turtle dot move 1, turtle dot rotate 1. So what that should do is that should create a little circle. There we go. So now that we have some turtle graphics, let's just add a few bits of optimization. So say that we have the set position. Well, what if we want to draw a line from to the previous X to this new set position? Well, I don't want to use set position as that, so we're going to have another function called move to that draws a line. So move to, and then X and Y, and then we can basically copy all this code because it's not really different because we're still drawing the same line. But instead of offset X, it's just going to be X. And then we need to set the X and Y equal to the move to X. So equal Y. So now that we have that, we can actually test it. So I'm just going to get rid of the circle code. Turtle dot move to, let's just say 100, 100, which is going to be a little line like right here. And there we go. So now that we have this line, it looks pretty good. Hold on, let me do something. So I'm just going to let background color be default, and then we can actually say in this before we call the loop, we can clear it to actually set the background color, and then turtle outside position. We actually say turtle, or wait, no, we want to add a new function. So say that you don't want to actually draw when you move forward. Right now, every time you move forward, you draw a line from where you were to where you are now. Say that you don't want to do that, but you still want to move forward in this sort of way. Well, in most turtle things, there's a way to actually do that. It's called putting the pin up or putting the pin down. So I'm going to say that the pin is a boolean, so I'm just going to say pin is true by default. We want it to draw by default. And we say our pin up, or set pin, and that's going to be up. And then so this dot pin is equal to up. And so now that we have that, we can say if the pin is down, then we actually want to draw. So if this dot pin, then draw. So everything that's in context, just draw it. But we still want to translate it, so keep this dot x and offset x. So same here. And I'll just have if this dot pin and put everything in there. We still want to do the mass, but we sometimes don't want to draw it. And so rotate, set pin, set color, all that. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. That's canvas. So now we can do something like this. So say move 100, and then turtle dot rotate, and copy that, make ourselves a square. I can prove it does by doing that. So it has a square. And now, after we do one line, I'm going to say turtle dot set pin to false. Don't draw the line, basically. And then set it to true after we do 2 of them. So set to true. So what should happen is that it should draw this line and this line. And as you can see, it does. So there we go. We have ourselves a little nice looking turtle. We can do some pretty good things with it. I don't know. what I can do with it. I can probably look up turtle codes and put that in, but for right now, I have a turtle. So that is the end of this coding challenge. I'll put the code in a GitHub stuff for you guys if you want to do it. And that's it for this video. If you like it, make sure to like it. If you want to see more of these coding challenges, be sure to subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.